if you think trading boom and crash is hard, then watch this video to the end, and I promise you that this single indicator alone is going to help you change your life. It doesn't matter if you are using price action or if you use indicators. This indicator, you can just use it, right? Even if you are using price action, because you can just move this indicator window down if you want to analyze your charts, right? So right over here, what do I have? I've got the RSI. That's the indicator that I'm going to be showing you, and exactly how you can use it to master booming crash, right? To be the best, right? So that you improve your chances of winning, right? So right over here, let me just show you the settings for this RSI, right? And you can also use the RSI on your mobile phone. I usually use it on my mobile phone. I just record using my laptop, right? So right over here, I've got the RSI. The period is 21. Then apply to close. Then you can choose any color, right, depending on your background and whatever is clear to you, right? And I'm using 2 pixels right over here so that it's easier for you to see the RSI, right? If I use 1 pixel, you won't be able to see it clearly, right? So, and then now take note of the levels. I want you to check these levels exactly as they are, right? So we got the level 40, we are labeling it as still buy, level 50 equilibrium, and level 60 is still sell, right? So I want you to copy these exactly as they are, right? And then you click done, right? So those are the levels that you want to see over here, right? So these are the levels over here, right? So what we're going to do over here is after we've done our analysis, right? So like just after you've done your analysis, or maybe you're using your indicators, right? So if you're using your indicators, I think maybe let me just add moving average, right? So that becomes a little bit simpler for you guys to see where the entries will be, right? So let me just use the 50 moving average only, right? And then maybe change it to like, right? Then I click OK, right? Oh, this is too thick. It's too thick. I want it to be a little bit thinner, right? So right over here, what do you have to look for, right? So if you are in a trending market, right? So let's say we are in an uptrend, right? So if we're in an uptrend, most of the times the black moving average, right, this 50 moving average is going to be below the candlesticks, right? And sometimes it will just pass by over here, yet it will just consolidate below or just break a little bit below the moving average, right? We can also use our market structure to see where the trend is, right? Like over here, we're creating what we broke past this high, creating a high, hello, high, hello, high, hello, high, whatever, right? So we know that we're in an uptrend, right? So now that we are in an uptrend, we also want to check this indicator window, the hero of this strategy, right? So whenever we're in an uptrend, the market is going to be coming back, right? Say they're going to test this level 50 over here and continue going up, right? Or it's going to test this level 40 over here and it's still going to continue going up, right? So until this level 40 is broken, we will just consider that we're still in an uptrend, right? So whenever we are in an uptrend, you just have to remember that even if the RSI comes back to retest the level 50, you can take your entry. If it comes to retest the level 40, you can still take your entry, as long as it is showing candlesticks that show that it might respect, right? It's showing proper candlestick formation, right? You can still take that entry, right? So that's why I don't like to use the overbought and the oversold levels when you're using the RSI, right? And I'm using the level RSI period of 21 because it's a little bit slower, unlike or using the RSI period 14 that most people use. Is too fast and it will reach the overbought and the oversold levels too quick. And after reaching those levels, check this out, right? These are the overbought levels over here, right? Because this is around the level 67, 68. This is around the level 70, right? So when you are saying the market is overbought, now you are looking for your sell entries. Check what the market is doing. Check what the candlesticks are doing. They are continually going up, and you are still looking for your sell opportunities when the market is clearly in an uptrend. So I don't like using the overbought and oversold levels. That's why I use these levels that I have given you over here, right? So whenever the market pulls back to the 50 moving average, and we see that it's still respecting the level 40, right, or the level 50, right? So the level 50, you can use it both for your sales and for your buys. That's why I labeled it equilibrium, because it's in the middle. It has got no side, right? Wherever the trend is, it will respect that, right? So as long as if these areas are being respected over here, you can take your entries, right? So let's see where there is a downtrend so that I can show you exactly how you use this again, right? So clearly, yeah, right over here, when you started the downtrend somewhere over here, right, when you broke let me take my pencil, right? So when we broke structure over here, right, we're creating our lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then this continued a little bit up. Then we broke past this structure again, creating our lower low, lower high, lower low, blah 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 blah, right? So now we know that what in a downtrend, and our moving average is also above the candlesticks, right? It's above the candlestick, which means it's forcing the market down. We are clearly in a downtrend until what the RSI, right, breaks past the level what the level 60, right? So as long as if we are respecting the level 60, we are still looking for selling opportunities, right? So over here, yeah, this was not yet, market hasn't broken past what that area yet, right? So we start looking for entries when the RSI pulls back to the level 50, and it shows that it wants to respect, right? So over here you can take your entry because we've got what, we've got a moving average here, and we also have what, our zone flip somewhere over here, or the zone flip wasn't tested, right? The zone flip was slightly missed, right? But we've got our moving average over here. And now let me take my crosshair, right? And as you can see, that's when we tested the level 50, right? And came back and tested the level 50 again, right? So whenever it's tested the 50 moving average, usually on the indicator window, it's also testing the level 50 over here, right? And we pull back again. Right now we broke past the level 50, but we respected the level what, level 60. Why? Because we are still in a downtrend. If the market is still going to trend down, it's going to respect the level 60, right? It can form something like an M over here, but it will still just what, it will still respect the level 60, right? So when it comes back to level 60, sometimes it creates something like an ugly M, right? So just keep that in mind, right? So over here, when are we going to be entering, right? So you can draw maybe your flag, right? Because you don't know if the market is going to break past the level 60 yet, right? So you don't enter at this point over here because maybe the market wants to break, right? So we are going to be entering when the market breaks this trend line over here, right? So we've got our entry over here, right? When let me just draw the trend line, right? So over here, when the market breaks past that trend line, and we've got a zone flip also over here, right? And the market pulls back to test that zone flip also, and it's also testing the 50 moving average. And as you can see, when it is testing the 50 moving average again, it's also at the level 50 over here, which means you can still enter your sales, right? So as you can see, we are just breaking past the level 40 because we are not in an uptrend, right? So the level 40 doesn't matter, right? So if we are in an uptrend, we are looking at the level 50 and the level 40. And if we're in a downtrend, we're looking at the level 60 and the level 50. The 50 level is always in the middle, it's always there, we're always looking at it, right? And then over here, right, we slightly broke past the level 60. We broke past level 60, so maybe you wouldn't have taken this entry because you think that the market has already broken structure, and you would have missed that trade. But yeah, I think this one, in fact, this one would have missed it because it broke past the level 60, though it continued going down even further, right? It was just to play out with our minds, right? And as you can see over here again, the RSI put back to level 60, created that ugly aim that I was talking about, came back to the level 60 over here again, right? So as long as it's respecting the level 60, and you've got a proper candlestick confirmation here, and maybe what you are going to be marking your order blocks or whatever you are using for as your entry point, you can still use what, you can still use the RSI, right? Just as a further confirmation, right? So over here, respected the level 60, you enter. Respected the level 60, you enter also have an order block somewhere over here. That's just what you keep on doing until somewhere over here, as you can see, it broke past the level 60 and started ranging above it, right? So if it starts ranging above the level 60 a little bit, know that the trend has changed, unlike just breaking it a little bit like what it did over here. As you can see, there's a little bit of a breakout, right? But it's just 1 point. But if we see that the market is a little bit ranging above the level 60, we know that the trend has changed. It's now an uptrend, right? So now we are looking for at our level 40 and our level 50. That's when we'll be taking our entries, right? Over a year again, right? The market went back again to a downtrend, respects the level 50. As I said, if it's the 50 moving average, usually says the 50 level also, right? So that's just what you have to look for. Just a heads up, just a confirmation for you to take those trades. And if you want to know exactly why I'm using the level 40 and level 60, then I suggest you watch the RSI video next. If I forget to leave the link, then comment in the comment section down below and I'll insert it.